Hi guys, welcome back to Sparky About Movies. I really hope you've had an amazing week and are ready for this brand new weekend. Before we get into the video, make sure to follow me on the rest of my socials, my Instagram and my Twitter so you can keep up with the rest of my content journey. Today's upload for Film Friday is going to be a talk through of the Evil Dead franchise, including Evil Dead Rise. So here is your spoiler warning, guys. If you haven't seen any of these movies, I highly suggest you do, because I will be talking in depth about the story, the film and the characters. Starting off is The Evil Dead, which came out in 1981, directed by Sam Raimi. 5 friends are visiting a cabin in the middle of the woods. They soon find this tape with incantations on it and unwittingly summon demons. Demons that possess them in succession until one is left remaining. There is perhaps no other film franchise to amass such a cult following similar to The Evil Dead, and rightfully so. This film kick-started a one-of-a-kind legacy. Sam's direction is both creative and unsettling. We pick up on his style straight away, how he uses his camera as the unseen force racing through the woods, how he manages to incorporate a sense of us being in the movie when the fog swallows the moon in the sky, and when he does the reverse camera work at the end, it's just so majestic. Starting out as a Hitchcock suspense thriller, building terror through a force, a threat you can't see, really set the atmosphere and left the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. Yes, the acting and dialogue isn't all that great, and the characters don't really pick up your attention until they are consumed with the Evil Dead. Take Betsy Baker, for instance, who plays Linda. Her deadite was so creepy. She gave me such chills. My absolute favourite character from the very first film. The imagination and the effort and the immaturity is unmatched in this film. It was really fresh and it's one of a kind. Ash Williams being introduced as one of the most coolest horror icons of all time will be held in high regard because of this film. Now let's talk about Evil Dead 2, which came out in 1987 by the same director, Sam Raimi. Ash Williams finds himself battling the demons once again after discovering the tape, playing the chance, and the demons in turn possessing his girlfriend. We are given less of a continuation and more of a reimagining with this sequel, throwing us into a tale of comedy and somehow tweaking its first original pitch. Retaining some familiarities from the very first film, as in the bridge not being there, the woods, the cabin, Raimi cleverly combines modelling, animation and sharp, skillful camera work to deliver a wonderful, disturbing collection of tricks. Ash Williams flourishes throughout these 85 minutes, even without his hand, debuting Groovy, The Chainsaw and Deadite Ash. Evil Dead 2 gushes with lunacy, comedy and blood. On a so bad it's good level, you have so much fun with this sequel. Now let's talk about Army of Darkness, which came out in 1992, again by the same director, Sam Raimi. Demon-slaying Ash is sucked back in time and finds himself at war with skeletons. Yeah. Blending a lot of sass and action together, Army of Darkness is within no doubt a crowd pleaser. Feeling very much like a live-action cartoon, Army of the Darkness is over the top, it's campy, but there's so much going on that you either find yourself laughing or captivated by The Great Adventure. Mixing together medieval times, magic, evil Ash, it is a complete switch around and nothing you've ever seen before. Now let's talk about Evil Dead 2013, directed by Fede Alvarez. Mia and her friends head to a remote cabin to try and kick her coke addiction. Unwittingly, they summon the demons who have unimaginable desires for every single one of them. Evil Dead 2013 abandons the well-known absurd humour and replaces it with liters of blood, chaos and creepy possessed girls. This sequel goes hard, harder than any of its predecessors, through mayhem, violence and unlimited scares, but also respectfully and cleverly paying homage to its original. We see this through our first introduction to Mia, as she is sitting on Ash's car. It's the same cabin, the same chant, the bridge is overflowed, there is no way of them to leave. We also see a little bit of Ash in Natalie when her hand goes evil, like Ash's did in Evil Dead 2. There is just so many little references and Easter eggs hinted throughout, and it's quite nice and fun to pick them out and notice them. Speaking on Mia, Jane Levy's performance throughout this film excels. She's disturbing, relentless, and earns her title of Final Girl and Horror Queen with ease. Through her body language, her facial expressions, her frantic pursuits, they are all shown so expertly, and she just crushes her screen time. As does everybody else. Eric and Natalie, David and Olivia, they are superb additions. They are strong and you feel the fear through the screen out of their performances. It's so overwhelming. The entire film itself is immersive, a really terrifying experience, and it works so well all together simply because of its fast pace, its no limits, and the lasting effects it has. A quick side note, just one thing that I really loved about this film in the Evil Dead franchise, and probably why it's my favourite, is the way it approached the Evil Dead. It chose to show the demon in apparition form. Mia sees the demon in the woods first, and then in the roads, and then in the swamp. I really enjoyed the terror it elicited through it getting closer and closer. I just thought that was really well done, and to me it's the perfect film. Okay guys, we're now going to talk about Evil Dead Rise, which came out this year by the director Lee Cronin. This film follows two sisters who are reuniting and have it cut short by the return of the demons, throwing them into a battle of survival and having to face the most nightmarish version of family ever. Satisfying long-time fans' appetites, Evil Dead Rise is all kinds of groovy. Beginning with what can only be described as the most beautiful, stunning title card in Evil Dead history. Flourishes into a nightmare, fueled by blood-hungry carnage. The bleak apartment setting was a brilliant shift in what we're comfortable with. It was claustrophobic, unwelcoming, but yet our heroes who live there are the complete opposite. There was ample chemistry between each and every character, and that grounded me emotionally. The film itself is creative. It has some very uncomfortable scenarios and some shocking visuals, but what do you expect? It's Evil Dead. Lee Cronin did very well to not forget the Evil Dead that we know, and sprinkled some really awesome Easter eggs to notice throughout the film. A few of my favourites that I spotted were like Mommy Deadite leaving the bathroom and giving that side eye, like a little notion to the Evil Dead 2 poster. And furthermore, on Evil Dead 2, the Dead by Dawn chant reminded me of it as well. Having Ellie tied up in the elevator was like Mia and everyone else getting tied up by branches in the forest. And with it being in an apartment complex, they got rid of the stairs so they couldn't escape through the stairs, like the road being blocked off by the water. There was just so many little things that referenced other things, and it was just really fun to notice and spot them. They were very, very cleverly inserted. It was also really cool to notice the film references as well, like Ari Aster's Hereditary with Ellie banging her head on the door, The Shining, the blood in the elevator, and the first one that I really stuck with me was the Hellraiser theme tune. Now, when I heard that, I kind of applauded in the cinema because I just thought it was so cool, because the Deadites are kind of like the Cenobites in a way. They have desires that a normal person wouldn't consider. It doesn't really matter that we've seen all these things before, because in this installment it just ran with it and compelled you, consumed you from beginning to end. It was a fantastic experience. It was so clever, well done, and so much fun. Mommy Deadite was just the best. I think I'm going to be obsessed with this film for a very long time. Okay guys, we've come to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and comment down below. If you spotted any Easter eggs or reference throughout these films, comment them down below just in case I missed anything. And also, I'd be very interested to know your Evil Dead ranking. Until my next video guys, stay safe, happy and healthy. Bye!